Good morning, America. My name is Ben, and today on Middle School Money, my partner Zach and I will be talking about state market economy.
Hello, Zach talking. Today, we will break down this concept and explain every part of it to you so it is less confusing.
Also, we will provide modern examples of this economic system to help the children at home understand it a little bit better.
Thank you for supporting this radio station.
The first major idea of state market economy is the ownership of resources. When resources are publicly owned, it means the population has a say where certain resources are used. Populations are represented by governments, so public ownership of resources means government ownership of resources. The governments are notoriously wasteful, slow, and inefficient because they are bureaucracies. However, there are positive sides to government-owned resources. The government is more efficient and may be more fair in distributing the resources evenly to those who need them. Private resources are controlled mostly by companies which are all about profit, and if they do not use the resources efficiently, they fail to make maximum profit. Then, other companies which use resources more effectively compete with them and eventually take over their market. So basically, resources handled by the government are usually allocated inefficiently with lots of waste, but distributed more evenly, while private companies either flourish or cease, so they must be efficient with resources.
I completely agree. When the government controls all resources, problems are bound to happen. But when private firms control their own supply of resources, they can provide themselves with what they need.
Also, in a state market economy, the government controls what is made, how much of it is made, and how it is distributed. For example, the government decides to manufacture a certain number of shoes, which ends up being too few, and there are shortages. So, if you need shoes and the last distribution was already made, you're out of luck. It's just that simple. Boy, am I glad I live in the United States, which is a great example of a mostly free market economy. We never run out of things for which there is a sufficient demand.
So, one example of a state market economy is China.
Why China?
You see, China used to have a centrally planned economy, but in 1993 it all changed. From 1978 to 1993, China has been transitioning from a centrally planned economy to a state market economy, very gradually, and mostly through experiments. Deng Xiaoping's widely quoted phrase, "crossing the river by groping for stones," is an excellent description of this process.
Boy, I hope it was a shallow river.
It was. But if you think about it, 1978 to 1993, that's 15 years.
That's a long time to wait.
Yes, it was a long time to wait, but it was all worth it. From 1978 to 1993, the basic idea of central planning stayed intact, but the reform was carried out increasingly to make incentives better and to expand the size of market for resource allocation. An amazing success in improved people's living standards, generated high profit growth, and eliminated shortage of resources, the common problem of all centrally planned economies. No more shoe shortage. When compared to other countries, though, you would be surprised at how remarkable it really was.
Cool. What other countries?
One example is Hungary.
Hungry? Like hungry for turkey?
No, Hungary the country, you turkey. One of China's role models until the 1980s, Hungary eliminated required production minimums and due dates for product delivery in 1968, which means the companies now had a right to decide for themselves how much and what to produce, and when. For example, the shoe company could now produce enough shoes for everyone. Sounds good, right?
Sounds great.
No, it actually wasn't good, and the economy stopped growing in 1986. Similar things happened in Poland and the Soviet Union. These failures required a more extreme approach to reform, which became possible only after all communist parties would disband around 1990. Compared to these other countries, the Chinese success was a big surprise, and it's built a new and different way to transition from a planned economy to a state market economy.
China did well.
But in November of 1993, everything changed. China changed its goal from a slow change to an instant change to a modern market economy.
These modern markets follow international standards of producing, selling, and buying products.
I love podcasts, don't you? No commercials, no interruptions, no time limits. I have so much information that I can go on and on and on. Ben, what are you doing? What, do you have that look on your face? No, don't hit the pause button. Don't.